Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Dragon Ball Super episode 125. And I'll just say it, this episode wasted no fucking time and just jumped right into the action. And in many respects, I guess it just jumping right into the thick of things like that, it did show the very visible signs of the show being rushed to a conclusion. But in a weird way, I think it worked to at the very least this episode's advantage, as the tournament itself is coming to a close. So it's almost like the rushed pacing. It's almost like the rush pacing works here because both sides realize that with only 6 minutes, or I would suppose it would be 5 minutes, which again, the Dragon Ball Z timing, only 1 minute really passed. That's kind of incredible in this episode. But with both sides realizing that with only 5 minutes left, the slightest misstep on either of their parts could in fact be fatal, which also helped to raise the tension quite a bit, in my opinion. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching this episode, pretty much my chest, it was literally pounding from pretty much all the excitement. Like I was so sucked into this episode that I that even my chest, and I got so excited that yeah, my chest just wouldn't. I was whew, I was literally hype. Part of me almost felt like my chest was gonna pop. My heart was gonna pop out of my chest or something like that. But yeah, it was just the episode was that goddamn good to watch. Honestly, just and and at the center of the hype of this episode was Toppo's transformation, and we learned from it that he is a candidate to that Toppo is a candidate to in order to succeed Belmod, because he obtained the same power as the gods of destruction. And honestly, as cool as it is, this is also one of the reasons why I'm really hoping that Super is only going on a very long hiatus and isn't actually ending permanently. Because when Toppo transformed, like it was hype. It was so hype in order to see him use pretty much the same powers as all the gods of destruction have. But I immediately but in the back of my mind, I was also asking a couple of questions, like where did he learn this power? Did Where did he learn this power? Was he and were he and Jiren personally trained? Were he and Jiren received special training or something? And like, it's one of those things where it is, again, it's the most hype thing ever. After all, Super has been known to do just incredible amounts of fan service has been known to do incredible amounts of fan service like this. But the these are only like a few of the many questions I'm like worried about that we may or that it's kind of up in the air as to whether or not we're even going to get answers to. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see as to how the final episode plays out, and from there just trying to see if we're in fact going to get something, if we're in fact going to get a sequel or a continuation to Super. Almost, I mean, considering that they're working on the movie this year, I want to say that they're just going on a long hiatus, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see, I think. Yeah, well, but that aside, just seeing Toppo use the same power as the gods was incredibly hype, and he's just literally a walking, talking tank. He's just a walking tank of literal destruction, just pretty much wiping out everything in his path from just wiping out everything from his path and just erasing everything in existence. And it was just too amazing. And as glad as I am that pretty much Frieza failed to eliminate him, because it would have looked way too easy. It does still make you wonder how the fuck Android 17 is going to defeat him. Like, because we pretty much have two powerhouse fights going on. We pretty much have Android 17 versus Toppo, and we have Vegeta and Goku, who are basically pretty much off who are basically off who are pretty much and are currently busy in their battle with Jiren. So we have two powerhouse fights. We have two powerhouse fighters from Universe 11. Two powerhouse fights in the Universe 7 versus Universe 11 kind of showdown, and it just really like it really makes me wonder like how is Android 17 gonna defeat him, and how are they gonna how are they gonna balance the, how are they even gonna balance this act out, because we have two, Toppo and Jiren are both powerhouse fighters at this point, so how are they gonna balance this act, how are they gonna balance this, how is Toei gonna balance this act when we only have a couple episodes left. It will be interesting to see, that's for sure. The Honestly, the only thing I can think of right now is is that Android 17 is going to try and prolong the battle as long as he can, or long enough where pretty much Toppo will pretty much lose his, where Toppo is gonna use all of his destruction power, and he's gonna power down, because I imagine from using that, I imagine I imagine in using that form, it eats away a considerable amount of energy. So, I do imagine that at some point I do imagine that at some point after a while that probably Topo is going to power down, and he won't be able to use the whole God of Destruction power anymore. But yeah, it's like we have two major fights going on, and both Universe 11 fighters are turning into powerhouses. So it's like, yeah, how the hell are they even gonna do this? Um, it yeah, it just really makes me wonder as to how this is gonna all go down. Now, I never thought I'd say this. I never ever thought I'd say this, because Frieza has been proven to be a fucking snake for pretty much throughout this whole tournament of power. But when when pretty much see Frieza getting pretty much engulfed by the getting engulfed by the power of engulfed by Toppo's power, we immediately assumed, oh shit, did did we just see Toppo kill Frieza? Like, and I'm really glad, that when that I'm really glad that Toei pretty much took a step back from that one and didn't do it. Took a step back from that one and actually didn't kill him, because the thing about Frieza dying is because, as weird as it sounds, to me, Frieza has actually been one. Frieza has been one of the focal points of what of basically what of basically what of basically what's of what Dragon Ball Super can be in the future. And if Frieza was destroyed, like we of course have, if all these other universes end up getting resurrected, that would be that would still leave that would still leave a lot, and I mean a lot, in order to a lot in order for the future. Don't get me wrong, but I do feel that if I do feel that if Frieza was inevitably destroyed, it would have lessened the chances of a sequel or continuation to Super, because one of the big major points of discussion in this series is that is what exactly Frieza has planned for the Gods of Destruction and Xenos, and it's obvious at this point that if that probably is not going to be covered in this arc, but it definitely could be a major point in pretty much the story itself, in anything having to do with Dragon Ball, anything to do with Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball in general, in a bit of a definite, in plot point or storyline that happened later down the line in like a sequel or something like that. But and like I said, we but honestly, if he ended up being destroyed, he would have, his purpose would have been like, oh, so Frieza's gone. I guess his whole planning wasn't. I guess his whole planning, it wasn't gonna be worth shit anyway. So, but yeah, with him surviving, it means that any future storyline with him can in fact live on. So, but yeah, and all that discussion of his motives and what he's planning can in fact remain open now too. So yeah, there's that as well. And but yeah, and again, I definitely know that Frieza isn't one of the main it isn't one of the key focal points. So, like if the universes were resurrected, that would still leave that would still leave a shit ton of content a shit ton of content in order to theorize on Dragon Ball Super and its future. But again, with the way we've seen Frieza up at this point, it has been one of the key. Definitely an interesting key. Definitely an interesting point of discussion in this series for sure in its future. But and if he died, it would have amounted to nothing. So it would have just been a little bit of a letdown. But I'm just really glad he isn't dead. So dead. So we can continue that and many other discussions down the road for sure. And and before people say that even if he was destroyed, that there would always be the Super Dragon Balls to resurrect him, you really got to think: would Goku's friends even let him do it? But yeah, but yeah, the major point with his survival is that it does keep the door open in the future for pretty much his character, and it doesn't matter what, in what form of the storyline it continues on. We definitely can't see Frieza more in the future now. So, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much my review. If you enjoyed the video, yeah, sorry, I think I went on a bit of a ramble in that last part, but yeah, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. That's not been me. Signing off. Later, guys.